y'all just heard, motor's broke in. We did have a little water leak out of this upper radiator line. I left this on there to show you because I'm getting ready to actually take all this stuff apart. I'm putting a thermostat in there. But this hose clamp, it's just messed up. Like the nut went inside the housing and it stripped it out, and it's no good. But I'm getting ready to pull it all off and put a different housing on there, put a thermostat, and I got to do like a kind of like a bypass line and take this out. But I need to go to the parts store to get that. That's why I ain't done it yet. Do have an issue with the power steering though. So when I was trying to work the power steering in and work it back and forth, going slow it was fine, but I'd go like fast, it would like chatter going in either direction. So I think it's probably air. I mean, I've had this is a new pump. This pump's got the reservoir on it. New to me pump. The pulley is about the same size as the same pulley I ran on the other pump. Just has this reservoir built on it. And what I'm thinking happened is this line, I got them a little loose now. This line was kind of higher than this reservoir level. You can tell maybe some air was trapped up in here and wasn't able to get back to the reservoir. So we're gonna loosen these a little bit. We're gonna reclock them and kind of figure it out. But I think that is gonna solve our issue, because when I first started it, this was not a priority to me. What the hell? I don't know why that was so stuck. It was not a priority that this was filled up, but I got it filled up, and I think I filled it up too much because it started coming out this little vent right here when I shut down. So I knew it was kind of sucking air for a little while because I was making sure everything else was fine, and the carburetor was good, floats were good, everything else was good. And then I was like, all right, well, let me check this level, and it was low. So it was just circulating kind of like a lot of air. So definitely think a lot of air got in this system. So I did go ahead and get that evap kit in. Worked flawlessly. I did have to chop that breather tube down to get it to work. Got the suction line coming from here going into the tank. Now I'm not too happy about this. I do have a little bit of a gap there, but I can push it onto the header. It's just this bung, I didn't want to get it into my IMCA muffler, and I didn't want to kind of put it here. I wanted it a little bit down flow, so I'm going to get a slip 45 and kind of like clean this up a bit, because I didn't want to. It is kind of kinked here. I think it's kind of defeating the purpose because this thing doesn't draw too much of a vacuum, just a little bit. So we're just going to rework this and kind of get it kind of more even kill and not just like a straight slip-on fitting that they included in the kit. But for like $275, like this is a really good kit. I think it's a really good bolt-on for anybody, if you're a crate or an open motor. So every year I like to build new 4-bars and replace all highs, but I got new switch tubes, new FK rod ends on there. Getting these set up, I got to pull the old ones off, set the lengths, and make sure everything's fine there. But I got to take a ton of measurements and angles and all this stuff before I even want to touch it, because I want to get the baseline, what's on the car now, put these on, and make sure everything's exactly how it was. Now, I was talking to David Rudiman. We got some shocks coming. Went with some Penske's. Never owned a Penske shock. Always been on AFCOs, Integras, and Bilsteins. It's the first time running Penske's. I got a Penske coilover kit, Weir's one from Tim Nash over at Old Number 7 Garage. I bought it from him. I'm actually sponsoring him this year, so I'm making him some wheel covers right now. Just the carbon fiber ones. I was going to send some Kevlar ones, but the orange Kevlar that I have just doesn't look that great. I'll show y'all. So this is the orange Kevlar I got right here. This is what it comes out to after it gets wet and cures in epoxy. It just kind of turns like a burnt-ish orange. There's a little comparison side by side with the red that I do. Because the red ones are for a different customer. But yeah, we got to build a hood and do all that kind of thing. Working on taking these sails off. And gonna start chopping them, get the Lexan pre-cut. I don't want to do a bunch of rivets and all this stuff with this wrap coming. When it comes, we're gonna apply the wrap. The body panels are already made. Like I said in the previous video, we're doing the plastic body panels already pre-made there. It's got to trim out the wheel wells, but we're gonna hang them. When I get the shocks in, we can get the car on the floor, and I can cut out wheel wells, because I've learned that mistake before. Cut your wheel wells out when it's on its own weight. One of the late models I had, I didn't do that. I had it on jack stands, and with rear steer, it moves the right side and left side. So I traced out the wheel wells, and when it was down on the ground, they were looking weird in the holes. I was like, what the hell? So I had to open up the holes really big. It looked ugly. So don't do that mistake. So really, I'm just waiting on shocks and the wrap, and this thing's pretty much race ready. I need to order some springs from our new partner, Landrum Springs. We're gonna get a slew of rates because I really don't know what we're gonna go with. I've got notes from the previous owner, and then I've got also notes from the chassis builder, and they conflict. So we're just gonna throw some stuff at it. Kind of gonna be on my own like I was with that Trackstar, just figuring stuff out on my own. But at least I have 2 separate dead nuts on baselines I can go off of. All right, so Rhett and I are back out here today. We're gonna start troubleshooting this power steering. I don't know if it's been in a clip in this video yet before, but we're struggling with this power steering. I've been bleeding it a crap ton, and either it's got a huge air bubble I can't work out, or this pump is kind of messed up. It can't keep up with the speed. So pretty much when I'm cranking the wheel left and right really fast, it kind of like chatters and stutters. Like you can feel it in the wheel, and it like shakes the whole car. I worked it a ton with the engine off, with the engine on, trying to bleed this system. But I had a second pump I bought a while ago finally showed up. So we're gonna unbox it. We're gonna try to teach Rhett how to swap pulleys back and forth. We'll see how that goes, teaching a 1-year-old. And then maybe get it installed today, I'm not sure. All right, look, can you pull it off? Rhett, pull it off. Look, right here. Good job. Good job. So now, I'm gonna back this nut back out. Okay, so we gotta pull this pulley off. Look at that. Just pulled it off. Yep. Set that up there. We don't need that. We don't run that style. Okay. Same deal, right? Where's the other one? You get that one? Okay. Can you put this one on there? Good job. Yep. Oh, are we still in frame? You wanna? You got some gaskets Daddy didn't use? Yep. All right, well, I don't know if you guys can tell. Yeah, it's snowing here in Florida. It is freaking cold out here. Yeah, we'll do that. Oh, that's so nice. I did go ahead and start making all of my hood panels. These are all done. Just gotta make one more bend on this hood. Maybe cut out my air filter opening just a tad bit because we had to do some work there. And I'm waiting on some rivets. So other than that, this thing's ready to slap together. I am going back to this old style air filter base plate because I need to with this car. This air filter sits too far up. It's like 10 inches with a flat base above the hood. So we gotta have this drop air filter plate. This is the Walker one. If you notice, it kind of really just kind of funnels air into that carburetor. I don't know if it speeds it up or if it limits airflow. People said they've done dynos and the flat bases, you make a little bit more power. I'm not 100% sure. We're gonna compare. Maybe these will give you a little bit low end. I don't know, but I've got to get a new spacer ring because this one doesn't fit onto this Walker base. You have to have their special one. But we've got a Walker 4-inch. I thought about going down to like a 3-inch Walker filter, but I was still too far above the deck over there, or the hood. But today we're dealing with these shift linkages. We're gonna get them hooked up to this Brin transmission. Never owned a Brin before. I've owned the Burts and Falcons. Finally checking off that I've owned a Brin. Now this is an older one with the 2 shifters. I think the new ones have a single shifter. So we're just gonna get these rigged properly and adjusted so that it all goes together. So the time it took to hook up them shift linkages, this is how much snow we've accumulated. Oh man. This is not typical of Florida. This is one of the perks when moving to Florida, that we didn't have to deal with this stuff. Oh man, I feel bad for y'all living up north. I don't miss it one bit. You got the old John Deere putting some work in. Woo! Let it rip. Uh-oh. Alright, we got to reapproach. Alright, so we ended up getting about 8.5 inches of snow here in Crestview. But it is now currently about a week later. It's 75 degrees outside and we're out here playing. What you think? You working with your tractor, the dump truck, and your mower? You getting some work done? Crocs on and everything. But we had fun. Shocks came in today, just waiting on the wrap, and we'll be race ready. That being said, Rhett and I will see y'all in the next video.